All right. So today I want to talk about, let me just get straight to the subject. Photorealism is bullshit in video games, and game developers should stop chasing it. I feel like since the old days, we've just been chasing photorealism, and I feel like it's pointless because you got games like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Vampire Survivors, Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox, Terraria. A lot of these games show developers, Schedule One, a recent one, show developers that you really don't need a hyper-realistic game. And I feel like this happens in art as well, since I'm an art enjoyer, as you can see. Uh, the more like people try to think that skill is equal to realism, but they forget that we are not printers. Like, if I wanted a photorealistic subject, I would just take a picture of it. I have a phone with a 100 megapixel camera, so there it is, you know. But I feel like in the chasing of realism, we have lost artistic vision, and I feel like that is such a pivotal and important thing in game development. It's the soul of it. You know, every time you see like John Singer Sargent or Alphonse Mucha make a painting, you see a subject that goes through his eyes into his brain, mixes with his mood, his interpretation, and his stylization, the things that he learned, to create his art style, to create the literal thing that you see on the canvas. Like, for example, that. The same happens with Bloodborne. Let's say Miyazaki felt kind of edgy that day and he said, oh, let's make a concept for Bloodborne, or some creator on his team. And then you have Bloodborne, you know. They listen to what the fuck is that? Bring Me to Life, you know that song. Bring me to life, you know, and it's wake me up, and you know that one. Or they watched Twilight and they felt a little edgy and they created Bloodborne, and it's one of my favorite games, as you can see on the Hall of Fame. Elden Ring. They probably watched Lord of the Rings and they were like, let's make a game like this. There it is. You know, I feel like they have lost the mood. They have lost the artistic vision. They have lost the, how can I put this? It's like, even though it doesn't look, the fidelity isn't there, it feels real. I was just done talking about a video about composition on my art channel where I talk about how you create a certain composition that is kind of like it bleeds into the canvas to where stuff that isn't truly there is there. So like a shadow of a cloud that you can't see. And this adds to the immersion. Even though it's stylized, it makes you feel like the canvas is broader than it actually is. It makes you feel like the world is actually real. It's kind of like adhering to realistic logic in a fictional novel, you know. And this is something that they have lost. They do not make worlds that feel real. Assassin's Creed Shadows doesn't have a world that feels real. And by the way, guess what your boy has? Guess what your boy has? Guess what your boy has? I'm gonna be playing this on stream tomorrow. Of course, I'm just going to be talking shit about it, probably. I mean, look, I'm exaggerating. I already kind of know what I'm going to say about this game. I'm going to say that it's a podcasting game. It's like, this is the thing that you play. You turn your brain off and you just watch a podcast, or you like watch something in the background. It's not like Elden Ring. It's not the kind of thing that makes you turn down the podcast and start playing, you know, or like Resident Evil, Cyberpunk, stuff like that. Like, not once did I feel the need to open a podcast while playing Cyberpunk, excuse me. Anyway, I feel like this is lost. This is lost. I remember being a little wee lad and playing World of Warcraft, and you are in Elwyn Forest. It's like the starting area for the humans. And then when you walk out and you see how big the world is, it felt like a real world. Now you have empty space in the world, and don't get me wrong, it had plenty of an empty space, but it just felt real. You were like, oh, what's there? And then you go and it's like bears there. Oh, there are some cabins there. Then you go, there are bandits there. Oh, there's like this weird like mountain. You go and there's like kobolds there that are mining. beautiful. It's a immersive, beautiful world. And meanwhile, these guys, it's like I am sure ChatGPT could have been more creative with most of the stuff. And look, the artists that worked on this did their job, especially the artists that make like the covers, the concept art, stuff like that. They have done an incredible job, but the writing team didn't, the voice actors didn't, and the face model animators didn't. I don't know what that's actually said, but I feel like it looks uncanny. And if you like, this is something that is really common with art, is whenever you try to give likeness or realism, if you do not portray it, if you don't have stylization and you try to portray realism, it looks uncanny. Look at, just search up like on TikTok, realism, hyper realism process. Fucking bitch. Hyper realistic progress. And you're gonna see like a guy 4 years ago and then today, and it's like this huge fucking canvas with it's like a photograph, and just like scratches in a little bit with his small little pencil. Uh, that one, the previous one is how Assassin's Creed Shadow looks. It's like especially now, Yasuke, of course, Yasuke, the DEI ad is the one that looks the best, but now it looks like she's a wax figure. Her voice acting is, I've seen some of the music in the video game. It's like, I don't know how that's not racist. Whenever the black guy comes into the frame, you'll get hip hop. I don't know. I'm not saying any. You draw your own conclusions from that. But anyway, I feel like, and I made a video about this, games are no longer art, and I still feel this even throughout nowadays, and I know many of y'all will say just play indie games. I really don't want to be rude to indie games, but a lot of them are lacking, I'm gonna be honest. And a lot of you older guys can stomach it because you played Castlevania, you played Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and you can stomach it because it used to be like that, and it's nostalgic for you. But I didn't grow up with that kind of bad resolution. For me, it's like I cannot bear it, I just can't. And I don't know what to say to you. It's like, especially Metroidvanias. I cannot play Metroidvanias. Do you know how much I love Blasphemous and how it looks? I just can't play it. It just doesn't stick to my personality, So, but I'm gonna force myself to get into it. Maybe I'll get into it, but I don't know. But I do think that there's less artists in the video game industry. I feel like they're not hiring. It's like, how can I put this? They're hiring objectively, but then they're not hiring subjectively, and art is subjective, I feel like they don't take enough gambles. That's why you always see people praising indie games, because indie games take gambles. Like, they gamble, basically. Whenever you have Vampire Survivors, it's basically Castlevania, but like in a different style, survival Castlevania. They took chances, and they're allowed to because they're an indie studio. It's like, it's not like thousands of people's salary on the line. It's like 2 to 3 people. It's like, okay, bro, let's make this. Okay, let's go. But because of that, there's also the limitations that I've said with Metroidvania style games, pixelated, stuff like that, which I personally don't like. But I can understand what you like about it. I do not judge you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this far. Do me a favor, subscribe, and take care, and have a nice day.